Stranger Things Season 5 Volume 2 has finally returned after a month of waiting, and this could arguably be the best Christmas present that all of us were wishing for. Within these 3 episodes, we saw glimpses of the Abyss, Carly's secret plan of what she wants Eleven to do to protect the greater good of the planet, a Vecna becoming slightly weaker, and an answer to what that large ball of energy was from the trailer. Oh, and it most definitely seems like the Mind Flayer is going to be making a return in the finale. So with that, let's dive into these 3 episodes, break down the ending, and answer the biggest questions that we were left with. Here is Stranger Things Season 5 Volume 2 Ending Explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. What is the Abyss? When it came to the ending of the final episode, one of the main things that was brought to light was the fact that everything that we knew about the Upside Down wasn't actually what we knew it to be. This is something that was teased to us in Mr. Clark's class in Volume 1. Wormholes were always the answer, and that's exactly what the Upside Down was. It was a bridge between space and time, and it existed as a place which connected Hawkins in the right side up to the real place where darkness was born, which was called the Abyss. But it does also go by another name, and if you've seen the Stranger Things The First Shadow stage play, you'll know it as Dimension X. During Season 4, when Eleven fought with Henry Creel, we thought that he was sent to the Upside Down, but it turned out that he was actually sent to Dimension X, and then when Brenner was working on Eleven and used her to make contact with Henry, that was then when the bridge was formed, which was the Upside Down, and the connection was made. So the Upside Down wasn't the place where Vecna was based, it was actually the Abyss. The place that nobody even knew existed until Dustin found Brenner's journal. That was where he went following his battle in Volume 2 of Season 4, and it was where he recovered as he was out of sight. The plan that the group now have, now that they're reunited, is to go into the Abyss. With it being November the 6th, the date that Will was taken, and with Henry wanting to use the 12 vessels that he selected because he viewed them as weak, malleable, and individuals that would be easy to control, it's the day where he wants the 2 worlds to collide for good and for the right side up to become merged with the Abyss. This would mean that the world would essentially be ran by him and the darkness that he controls. The plan that the group have is to allow Vecna to believe that the worlds are merging, and as the bridge gets smaller and smaller, they'll go into the Abyss so Eleven can be close to Vecna. They'll go inside of his mind and prevent the merging of the worlds, instead killing him, collapsing the bridge, destroying the Abyss and all of the darkness with it, ultimately allowing the kids to be rescued and for the world to be saved. The way for this to truly happen would be for the exotic matter to collapse in on itself and break the barrier, as the exotic matter is what's keeping the bridge stable. So that's the true way to destroy the Upside Down and sever the connection for good, something that's never been able to be done before. So the Upside Down is actually the connection, and the Abyss is the dark place that they should be fearful of. What's Carly's secret plan? For a while, I did wonder why the Duffer Brothers brought back number 8, and now I'm seeing that she's not going to be the hero that we want her to be, so she's been brought back for a bit of drama. She has ulterior motives, albeit ones that are looking out for the greater good of the future of the world, but she's the person that wants to deprive us of the happy ending. Carly was essentially taken by the military and had her blood taken because Dr. K was looking to revive the project that Dr. Brenner was working on in order to create more numbers. This was something that wasn't working with Carly though, because her blood didn't quite match the profile that they were looking for. It was all about the blood of Henry, and seeing as though all of the numbers were made due to being given Henry's blood, the military thought any number could essentially replicate it. However, as we saw with the pregnant women, that wasn't the case. The only way it was possible for more to be created was for the blood to be within somebody who was just like Henry, and that very person was Eleven. This is why the military were after Eleven and why they didn't fire at her in the back of the van when they went into the Upside Down right at the end of the episode, because they needed her. This is why Carly's plan seems so dark. Carly believes that even if Dr. K is killed, the lab is destroyed and the Upside Down is destroyed, there'll always be somebody that's willing to pick the project back up. So as long as Eleven's alive, it means that she's in danger and all of the people that she cares about are as well. So almost like how Mr. Whatsit is manipulating the young minds by mentioning their parents and families being harmed, Carly is doing that to her. She basically wants herself and Eleven to stay behind whilst the bridge is being destroyed so they'd also be destroyed as well. However, I truly wonder if Carly has the intentions of staying there, or if she actually wants Eleven dead because she partially blames her for being taken and for not looking to rescue her. We know Hopper can't lose 11, as even the thought of losing her reminds him of what happened to Sarah, so he'd be losing a daughter all over again. And with him not being trusting of Carly, I wonder if he could end up dying whilst trying to protect her. It would be a moment that would hit really hard and would be a true tearjerker. He's the dad in the show, and the love that he has is something that's always been present. Jonathan and Nancy. With the Duffer Brothers saying that Escape to Camazotz was a really emotional episode, I truly thought we were going to see both Nancy and Jonathan kick the bucket here. However, quite the opposite happened. We saw them find new life. We essentially saw them realize that they weren't right for each other. It was quite beautiful, to be fair, because it took the both of them being on the cusp of death for them to realize that they shouldn't actually be with each other. Jonathan described it best when he said how he felt like he wanted to be with her mainly because of the experiences that they shared with each other, the ones that were traumatic. He thought it brought a closeness that couldn't be found anywhere. However, as well as that, it also brought an element of feeling like they couldn't breathe when they were around each other. They didn't want to die whilst lying to one another, so instead they told each other how they truly felt, and they accepted that they weren't actually right for one another. It's kinda sad, but I think it's almost the harsh reality of life. People think they're in love when actually they're just more afraid to walk away. The flashback in the cave. What we saw in the cave is something that I think we'll see more of in the finale. This is what's shown in the first Shadow stage play, and it answers why Henry is so afraid of entering the cave inside of his mind. This is because following opening the box, there was a piece of technology that essentially sent him to the abyss, and that was where he met the Mind Flayer for the first time, and the darkness was essentially put inside of him. He was exactly like one of the vessels that he's using for his grand plan of recreating the world. He was gone from the right side up for around 12 hours, but within that time, it transformed him completely. So I think we're most likely going to see that taking place when the show returns for its final episode. The person that was firing towards Henry was a scientist that was working for Dr. Brenner at the time, and he fled the interdimensional project that the government was working on because he didn't want to be a part of it and ultimately took the case with him. Due to it being such a traumatic time for Henry, that was why he wasn't able to walk into the cave, because it's essentially the beginning of the end of the young Henry Creel. When he returned to the right side up, he believed that he killed the only girl that he cared about, which was teased to us with the poster for the play, his mother and also his sister, so this has to be addressed truly when it comes back for its final installment. I think this could also be why Henry Creel utilizes the death of family members amongst the new people that he recruits, because he knows firsthand how devastating it is to experience that. How Max escaped Camazotz. When it came to Max escaping Henry's mind, it turned out that Kate Bush and music wasn't necessarily the only thing that was able to save her. As well as that, it turned out that as long as you had something powerful and meaningful, the ability to get home would present itself. This was Lucas for her and the love and care that he had for her. She could sense the feelings that he had and the heart that was present, so that meant that the gateway for her to return to her body was there. With Holly, we saw that the persona of Holly the Heroic was what it was for her. She felt guilty for freezing when people truly needed her, but with Max telling her that she was her hero because if it wasn't for her, they wouldn't have found the secret opening by the cave. That's what allowed her to wake up in the abyss and get through to the Upside Down before Vecna took her back. My review of Volume 2. When it came to these 3 episodes, personally, I think I preferred Volume 1, which I think is a bit of a shame to say. I feel like the pacing of the first 4 episodes felt a little bit more natural, it felt a bit more contained, and even though the stories were spread across the right side up and the upside down, they were just that little bit easier to follow. Plus, we got the massive reveal with Will having powers right at the end of the final episode. The way that the episodes in this volume were unfolding, it almost felt like there was an element of rushing because they needed things to wrap up. As much as I think it is cool that everything that we thought we knew about the Upside Down was a lie, us finding that out literally 2 episodes before the finale is something that I think is just a bit meh. The Abyss sounds like there's so much lore to it, and also mystery, and I just fear that we're not going to get all of the answers that we're looking for, but my mind could be changed on that if we do get them. I would also say that the story keeps feeling like it doesn't quite know who to focus on. Is it Will, is it 11, or is it Max and Holly? 11 really has taken a back seat when compared to Season 4, and I think that's a shame. It's almost more about Will, Max and Holly now. A scene that I did love in this volume though was when Vecna was following Holly and Max and he just appeared from around the corner. I thought it was a great way of showing himself to Holly for the first time, and the slow-mo shot was also really cool. I also loved the scene where the Demodogs were ambushing the hospital. It was so tense, the camera movements made it feel so immersive, and we saw the love that a mother has for her child in wanting to do anything, even whilst in a wounded state, to protect them. Another moment that I thought was beautiful was the use of the song When It's Cold, I'd Like to Die being played as Max woke up and returned to her body. This song was played when Lucas was holding her in season 4 when he thought that he lost her, so hearing it again, it just brought back all of those emotions. I would say that it kind of felt like it was always going to lead towards Will coming out to the group, especially since season 4 of the show, and I thought it was a scene that was handled quite well and had an element of emotion to it. Seeing the supportive nature of his friends and family and that they'd always stand by him was nice to see. I actually thought Vecna using that fear that he had within him also highlighted a real personal evil side to him in a completely different way. Even though I might not have preferred this volume to the first, it hasn't taken away the excitement that I have for the finale. I'm excited to see the group enter the Abyss, come face to face with Vecna again, Eleven and Will teaming up against him, and also if Carly is going to get Eleven to go through with the deadly plan. We've not got long to wait, so I'm excited to see which characters get the happy ending. The final thing that I will say that I thought was a really nice touch was that right at the end of the final episode of the volume, we heard the grandfather clock that Henry Creel was infatuated with, and we also had the candles lit like Henry Creel did as well. So with that taking place, I think we're going to be seeing potential contact with the Mind Flayer, as that was what almost triggered the drawings in season 4. So, there you have it, Stranger Things Season 5 Volume 2 Ending Explained. If you want to see more videos on Stranger Things Season 5, then check the playlist below, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future videos. What did you think of Volume 2? Share your thoughts in the comments. As always, thanks for tuning into the video, and I'll see you in the next one.